Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Adrielle, and I'm currently narrating a story of my life dating back from January 2016. In the previous episode, I talked about the month of June. I talked about a discussion, well, a failed discussion that I had with Esther and Ruth. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about the rest of the month of June. And yeah, so here it goes. So it is June 25th. June 25th, I get an email from the program. Now, the program is for the county I lived in. Get an email from them and that I was approved as a participant for the program. I was approved as a participant for the program. That was like the first step of the application process. So with this approval, I had to meet up with a mediator, and the mediator was from the county. So the date for me to meet up with the mediator was June 28th, and it's going to be between me, the mediator, and the landlord. But really, it was going to be like the manager or the assistant manager of the leasing of the apartment complex. So the date was June 28th. Now, something I do like to rectify when it comes to this rental assistance, I think in the previous episode I said some things about the rental assistance. Well, that was for another rental assistance. But for this particular rental assistance, this was from the county I lived in, right? It was for the county I lived in. They were going to cover my previous balance and 3 months rent. Yes. So I kind of spoke ahead in my other episode about it being for 18 months. That was for another rental assistance program. So they were going to cover whatever balance I had on my residence account and for the month of July, August, and September, something like that. So in this case, my mom was giving me money for rent. So I didn't have a previous balance. So they were going to cover July, August, and September. So the mediation meeting was going to be on Zoom on June 28th. Like I said, it's going to be me. It was going to be me, the manager, assistant manager, and then the mediator. So, yeah. June 28th. So, it's June 28th. It's the day of the Zoom meeting with the mediator and someone from my apartment complex. The meeting was for 11 a.m. So by 10:45, I'm on the Zoom call. I'm on the Zoom call and I want to say by 10:55, 10:57-ish, the mediator popped up on Zoom. So we're talking a little bit and we're just talking, just chatting. And then we're waiting for the person from the apartment complex to show up. It's 11 o'clock. No one from my apartment complex is on the Zoom call. The mediator said, we're just gonna give it some time, probably like 10 minutes. Y'all, 10 minutes passed. Nobody from the apartment complex popped up on the Zoom. So now I'm like, okay, these people are embarrassing me. I need to get this rental assistance. They need to act right. So during that 10 minutes, the mediator is asking me, hey, do you know a number you can call? Do you have an email where you can call them up? Now here's the thing. At this time, when it came to Hidden Valley, when you call them, they don't pick up the phone. And even if they do, it's like I don't even know. With them at this point, things were just kind of just what I realized with them, y'all. And I'm gonna say this: what I realized with Hidden Valley was that Hidden Valley was a pretty apartment complex, pretty environment, but management was not it. They were slow. They even maintenance too at this point, they were very slow. You can put in a maintenance order, you probably won't hear back from them until like 2 or 3 weeks. Like things were really running slow. Like management and maintenance were not it at this time. So when the lady was telling me to call, I'm like, I know no one's gonna pick up the phone. But I did call and no one picked up the phone. So now it's like 11:15. The lady's like, you know what, let's just start this whole meeting. So we start the meeting. She tells me the the terms of the program. It's like I said, y'all, it's with the county. It's with the county that I was living in. So all the documents we're gonna sign was gonna be with the magistrate court. So she was going over the terms with me that they would cover 3 months, July, August, and September, and that we had to sign these documents, me and the apartment complex, the manager or assistant manager, whichever one. Now, she did make it very clear to me. She says, we're going to sign the documents with the magistrate court, me and, the manager of the leasing of the apartment complex. We're going to sign the magistrate court documents, and that the funds were going to be released. Now, during the time of the funds being released, they don't have a time frame. That was what she told me. They don't have a time frame. It could take 2 weeks, it could take 4 weeks. But whichever case, the apartment complex could not come after me. They could not. And that was part of the agreement, and that was part of the terms, and that was part of them signing that they couldn't come after me. So I said, okay, so we're basically wrapping it up around 11:30, y'all. That was when someone popped up on the Zoom. Now we're going to call this person Pepper. Later on, you're going to realize why I am calling her Pepper. So Pepper pops up on the Zoom. Now, mind you, I never met Pepper. And the reason why I never met Pepper was because at the end of 2020, Hidden Valley had changed management. Like everybody was new. Everybody was new in the leasing office except for one guy who I met back in 2020, one of the leasing consultants. He was the only one that was still there. Everybody else was new. The manager who approved for my apartment application, she left. It was a whole new manager. Like everything was new. So when Pepper popped up in the screen, I didn't know who she was, but I knew she was someone from the leasing office. So she pops up. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I had a previous call, yada, yada, yada." So I say hello to her. She says hello to me. Now, mind you, this is my first time meeting Pepper. So the mediator was like, "Hey, I was basically telling her the terms of the program, the terms of the application and everything." So she basically repeated everything she said to me to the manager. So later on, I found out that the woman who was on the Zoom call was actually not the manager. She was the assistant manager. But here is the thing. She was the assistant manager, and she was the one that handled the funding account when it came to the residence account, them paying rent, how much they owe. The actual manager, she was the one who was in control of applications and leases and stuff like that. But when it came to like money, the assistant manager was in charge of that. And she was also called the business manager as well. So the business manager was on the Zoom call. And like I said, the mediator was just basically repeating what she said to me to the business manager. And they were like, okay. They said since we're at the end of basically at the end of June, um, and you're approved for July, like I said, I don't know when these funds are going to come out. So the lady said that, hey, let's have an agreement that I will pay a portion of July, and then they, which meaning the program, will pay the other portion of July, and then they will cover the entire August and September. So the business manager agreed to that, and we agreed. And that was also going to be in the court document as well. The portion I was going to pay in July, and they were going to cover the entire August and September. So we all came to agreement, and they were like, okay, I'm just going to have this in my system. She says, like I said, I don't know when the funds are going to be released. It could take 3 weeks, it could take 7 weeks. Everybody's process is different. Okay. So she was like, but like I said, you cannot come after her. No one can, you cannot send eviction notice, you cannot send a court summons or whatever. You cannot. Okay. So yeah, that was a meeting, and I remember telling my mom about it. She did give me the part of July that I had to pay, and I paid it online. And yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking at my notes. June 30th was actually the Zoom call. Okay. June 28th is when I got the email about the Zoom call that was going to happen on the 30th. Okay. I just want to rectify that, y'all. So, yeah, that was what happened in the month of June. Also, June 30th, that was the last day of the PUA for the state of Georgia. So, yeah, I was kind of like, ugh, I ain't got no more money, but I still had my tax refund that I hadn't yet touched. So I said I'm just going to use that for the month of July to basically take care of myself. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Rent was going to be covered by the county's program, rental assistance program. I still didn't secure a job from London. I did not secure a job anywhere. Brandon, it was 3 years that I knew about Brandon. And then the neighbors. Oh my goodness. Let me wrap it up with the neighbors. When it came to the neighbors, y'all, they came back. What was it? Father's Day? Yeah, Father's Day. They were blasting the music. That week of the 20th, they were, fighting in and out of fighting. They were fighting in the bathroom, y'all. I could hear her saying, "Excuse me. Excuse me. You're not going to say thank you?" Okay, she didn't do. But y'all, Lisa was like a bulldog. But there was one day, now like I said, y'all, this was the week of the 20th. There was one day Lisa was going off and she said, "Is that why you married me? Sam, is that why you married me? Is that why you asked me to marry me? Is that why you married me?" So I'm like, oh my goodness, this entire time I thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend. No, y'all, they were married. I was like, what? Y'all are married and this toxic? So now I'm looking at Sam. Like, Sam, you knew Lisa was toxic and you chose to marry her? Nah, see, you brought this upon yourself. I was surprised, y'all. I didn't think they were married. I really thought they were a toxic boyfriend and girlfriend couple. These people were married. I was like, oh my goodness, I would not want a marriage like that. So I found out they were married. Y'all, ending of June. I'm not sure if it was the 30th or the 29th, but it was the end of June, y'all. I was sleeping in the morning, like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, probably like 8 in the morning, 8 or 9. All I know is I heard Sam yelling. Now, typically it's Lisa that starts yelling out of nowhere, right? Sam just starts yelling out of nowhere. He's yelling at her, just being aggressive, just yelling. And Lisa, her response when he would ask her a question while he's yelling, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." I was like, oh no, 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 no. Don't tell me Lisa's afraid now. Because Lisa's been popping off out the mouth this entire time. Now she's afraid. Sam was yelling at Lisa, and Lisa was scared. I'm like, girl, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You've been causing trouble this entire time. Now you're afraid of trouble. I said, Lisa, this is what you get. This is what you asked for. You started this, Lisa. You started this. Now you're afraid of Sam. So yeah, Sam was just going off and Lisa was nervous. Like, I've never seen their bedroom, I've never seen their apartment or anything. But y'all, if I had to guess, I believe that Lisa was sitting at the edge of her bed, nervous and afraid of Sam. But I just thought it was interesting how the roles had reversed. That Sam was popping off and Lisa was afraid. So y'all, that was the last interaction I heard about Lisa and Sam. In the beginning of July, y'all, I did not hear nothing from them. Their apartment was silent. And to the point, y'all, I became afraid. I'm thinking, did Sam kill Lisa? Like, I was on some first 48 type of stuff. Like, I wanted to investigate because it was super quiet. Not only was it super quiet, y'all, their windows, their blinds were all the way up. I was like, there may be a dead body in apartment 14. Did Sam kill Lisa? I'm nervous. So y'all, next episode, I'm gonna talk about the month of July. I'm gonna talk about Lisa and Sam. Did Lisa die? Did something happen? Was there a dead body in apartment 14? Or was there something else going on? Tune in next time to an unlikely story. Bye.